Hey, hey, hey! Welcome back. Welcome back to the Scorpio channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Scorpio. Know that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed. Always interpret the message as it best resonates with you. God, I look tired. It's like no matter how much sleep I get, I feel like I look tired. And as I'm going through my grieving phase, so sometimes you'll see me and I'll look like I've been crying. Other times I'm eating the house. It's like, it's funny how the emotions work. Our emotions are something that we don't really think about. Hello, Desiree. Hello, Indy. Thank you for joining me today. For those of you that don't know about this channel, this is a shadow healing channel. So I do look at everything, and I'm actually not going to start with the inner child healing because someone said, you always start with the inner child healing. Well, I like to start with the inner child healing to understand why our person's acting the way that they are. Because when we're dealing with a karmic, we don't understand why they're acting the way that they are. All we know is that they're triggering us. So we want to know how to diffuse that negative energy. As I said, the emotions are something that are very, very, very powerful. And a lot of times they actually work subconsciously, like I said, and they fluctuate. Emotions need to flow, but when we have a spiritual block, they don't flow. What happens is we wind up ruminating on a situation over and over and over and over again, when really you're not able to ever come up with a solution because you don't know what the other person's reality is. You don't know why the person acts the way that they act. Knowing why a person acts the way that they act means that you can say, that doesn't belong to me. That actually belongs to you. But what you can take away from it is, why are you in my life? What are you supposed to be teaching me? And what do I need to integrate in order to quantum jump into a new reality, one that doesn't have whatever this fuckery is that's going on? And the fuckery is all about, you know, all about, a person being selfish, a person that only cares about themselves. So, I wanted to like start the reading off a little bit different today, but I am going to talk about the inner child wounds, the shadow healing, and reparenting, and what you need to do to quantum jump into the reality that you need to in order to integrate the spiritual lesson, only because it's a shadow healing channel, which is all about healing. Though we always want to know what our person like really is going to do, what they feel about us, no matter how fucked up they are. We're like, it's that's the ego part of self, and we all have an ego part of self and a deity part of self. The deity part of self is the God part of self, which is all about unconditional love. So when we recognize a soul mate, whether it's a past life karmic mate, whether it's a soul mate, whether it's a twin flame, we recognize the soul connection. And that's a lot of times why we stick around, because we're like, I know that there's another version of you. However, the ego part of self is the part that gets triggered. It's the part of self that is like, that person should be treating me better. That person, it's the part of ourselves that we do have expectations of how our relationship's supposed to look. The thing is that when we're talking about unconditional love, there is no expectation, there is no ownership. And so a lot of times, like I said, we're getting a person that doesn't act the way that we perceive that they need to. And so understanding what we need to do to change the energy, to actually manipulate their energy, is what the awareness is. Meaning you can't tell a person, listen, this is how you're making me feel, because it's going to go in one ear and out the other. It's an action that you're doing. So again, what you'll notice is that the action won't just shape shift the connection, but it'll actually shape shift an area in your life that needed to be healed. And that's why spirit, the universe, whatever you want to call it, brings us soulmates to help us become aware. So that's why I always look at the inner child healing, because we always have to say, well, where the hell did this blockage come from? Where did it come from? And what am I doing to contribute to the undesirable life experiences? And how else is it blocking me in my life? And why is this person coming in? Is there even a chance that this person could rise to the occasion? Well, we're going to find that out. Now, if you want to enter into winning a reading with me, you got to like the video, subscribe to the channel, write the word of the video in your comment bar. The word of the video is always on the first card that I pull out. It actually fell on the ground. It is tells me why everyone's doing what they're doing, and I'm starting it off different. So the card that actually flew out is the gift of style. So this talks about you. The gift of style is actually an unfoldment process. It doesn't happen like when you set out and you say, oh, I have these ideas, and you try and put the ideas out there. A lot of times what it is mastery comes in doing. We find ourselves by actually creating ourselves. So I feel like you've detached from someone. You're like in your own kind of world. You got to a point where you're like, enough. I can't deal with this connection because it's not giving me what I need. I don't understand, and I actually don't care at this point why you're the way that you are. I just know that you're not giving me anything, and that you're not really contributing to my life. And at this point, I've given enough time. So it's a way that you detached from the situation, which, by the way, that's the best way to detach, because this is how you raise your vibration into the energy of unconditional love. And when you're co-creating with the universe, what are you doing? You're giving and receiving of love through your free will. You become the energy. So you draw a lot of attention to you. A lot of people are noticing, and there's nothing worse for the person that you're connected to than the fact that you just cut your energy off and was like, I'm done, and I'm putting my energy into myself, not even somebody else. See, a lot of people would run and try and make that person jealous. This is not who you are, which is actually what's making this person be like, why are you pouring? Like, it's making them angry. And it's making them angry because I feel like that this person that you're connected to invested in someone else. And being that they invested in someone else, that it's not working out right now, and you're not paying attention to them, and you're not saving them, and you're not on the back burner where they thought that you were going to be, even though there's a real spiritual connection here. This person didn't want to look at it. Well, now you're putting them in a place of like where they're angry. There's a sense of angry because you're making them look at themselves. You're making them look at the reality of that you're not who they perceive that you were. And there you're making them look at how you treated them. And it's all by not you even saying anything. So you're like, why are people projecting shit onto me? Well, the reason why someone's projecting shit onto you is because, again, you're in this high vibrational energy, and you're getting attention from a lot of other people that are, noticing what you're doing. So maybe you are somebody that's out in the public eye. Maybe you're somebody that's a healer yourself. Maybe you're an educator. Again, whatever you're doing and you're getting noticed. And this is making this person nervous because they thought that you were their little secret. It's again, and and you're not right where you are supposed to be. So we're going to pull more on you because I said I would do it a little differently today. Because I don't like it when people say, you always start off. It's like, well, like I said, I like to say where the issue comes from. But see, we'll go backwards now. And the backwards is, whatever tools, skills, and abilities you need to accomplish your life's purpose are available to you. So again, you are in the gift of style. And there's a sense that this is a very intuitive thing. This is not a logical or analytical thing, which is also what gets a lot of people's attention, because a lot of people have watched you for a long time and they really didn't understand your style because you're not a conventional person. You're more of an intuitive, spiritual person. So again, you listen to your higher self. And this is actually great because no one can take what's yours. The reason why is because it's actually happening as you're doing it. It's an unfoldment process. It's a way that you actually stay protected, that the universe protects you. And it's also a way that you don't get in your own way. It's a way that it's again, only in the now do you get divine guidance. So you have the tools, and I feel like it's your intuition, it's your creativity, it's the connections that you've made, that, you know, you're in, again, this high vibrational energy. So this person is nervous because they're used to being needed. They need to be needed. It's like, whether it's for their money, their know-how, it's not, if they are someone that's business savvy, they are someone that has a lot to offer. However, they tend to use that as ammunition. And here it is, you don't need them, which pisses them off too, because they need for a person to need them, but then they get the upper hand, meaning, well, when I'm done feeling needed, then I don't really have to be here. So now you're putting them in a position where they're like, I'm still thinking about you and you don't need me. And this is pissing them off even more. So there's a sense of almost like, I feel like someone wants to come in and like throw you off your game right now. Like you're too focused, you're too involved in what you're doing. You should be making a little bit of a ruckus. You should be sad that this person's not in your life. And you're like, honey, that's not me. It's like, I was there. I did that already. Did that, done that, next. Too many fell out. And so this person expected you to act like everybody else acts with their fuckery. And that's not what happened here. They're starting to realize what a soul relationship actually is, because they don't have control over this relationship, and you piss them off and you're making them look at themselves, and you're making them look at a different way to live. There is a solution to every problem. Go within to find it. So I feel like you knew what you needed to do, and the solution for you was to detach. That's where you were. And it's not, nothing is as more clear than this. I feel like you reached the end of your line, that you've been going back and forth with this person for quite some time now. And that's really what it is. It's like the more that you stay connected to someone, actually exactly that, Slick Rick, it's like you stay connected to that, you wind up getting bad luck, because this person is not in a high vibration. They're in an angry vibration, and they're in an angry vibration that had absolutely nothing to do with you. But they're looking to put the blame on somebody. And mainly it's because of that. It's like you're making this person feel like disempowered. That's what they wanted to do with you. You're making them look at their self-image. And again, they had created a persona that you are always going to be there, because of how much they knew that you cared, right? Because they know that you're not someone that just wastes your time. They know that you're serious. They know that you're old-fashioned. So the irony is they knew exactly who you were, but they decided to disconnect and to disrespect, I should say, in every single way to get a reaction from you, because they wanted the authority. Now they're in a place of money issues. And here it is, you're at a high vibe. So here it is, you're creating your life. They stayed connected to someone that they really shouldn't have stayed connected to, someone that manipulated them. And now, you know, they've lost their resources. So they don't like the condition of their life. And here it is, you're not sitting there waiting. And so again, this person is having a bit of a flip out. And you're not paying a damn attention to them. Nothing. Thank you. So again, they're in their old habits. So I feel like this is somebody that used time and distance to try and trigger you. There's someone that has addictions, someone that has the avoidant attachment style. It's again, I want to seem as if I'm important. I wanted to seem as, you know, I really thought that we had this crazy thing. See, that's the irony. This person is like, I thought that you were like my soulmate, my twin flame. I thought that you were always going to be there. Well, if you knew that, why didn't you feed it? Instead, this person decided to do the opposite. They didn't think they had to put any effort in because you were that person. Stupid. Out of laziness. It's like, and that's what happens when you show a person that you really care. I feel like in the beginning of this connection, this person like acted as if they were wounded. Relationships just don't work out for me, and I don't really know. And I feel like there was this connection and you gave this person more time than they actually deserved. So it's what made them perceive that you were always going to be there, and also that they always knew who you were. It's not that they didn't know, it's like they weren't ready for that type of relationship. And then I feel like they just didn't want to have to make the changes that they had to make out of laziness. If someone doesn't respect you, it's okay to walk away. That's what this person is realizing. And that's what it was. You were like, it got to the point where you didn't give me any respect. You knew the connection, but you didn't give me the respect. And you took your power back. And by putting the energy into your own life, which is what I had channeled in the beginning, which is actually what is at the nucleus here, that this person is so shocked to shit that you walked away, and that you are not going to sit there and be the fixer. The irony is, I feel like that was a role that you used to have to play. It's a role that was comfortable for you to play. And this is what this person thought. Hello, everybody. Their excessive behavior. It's again, like this person, if they didn't get their way, they had to keep doing it. It's like, because they were so sure you were going to react. So they actually are seeing now that they took it to the extreme. This person pushed it to the extreme for no apparent reason. They wanted you to be submissive to them. They wanted to feel powerful. And so understand, only a person that feels insignificant does that. Right? Again, that's what it is. This person loved the fact that they always saw who you were, that you were someone of character, that you were someone that was making things happen, that you were someone that was loved, that you were someone that minded your own business, didn't like drama. They saw who you were from the beginning. But again, they crapped all over it, and they wanted you to be like their little secret. They wanted you to give them the energy and chase them and to make them feel secure, but they never wanted to do that. And they love the fact that you're on such a high vibration, because they know that they're not on a high vibration. They know that they're not. Here it is, you're making things happen in your life. This person wants to seem as someone important in their life. Someone that's so full of the ego. But the thing is, they felt important by kind of being with multiple people at a time. So it like this real player energy. 2 came out, so we're going to take them. Weary and superior. Yeah, and I feel like it's like you want to be superior, and in that making them wanting to be superior, it was just very tiring and draining energy, because you're like, the relationship doesn't need to be that hard. You keep getting in your own way. And so what Spirit is going to intervene right now and saying, well, you had to know that they weren't giving you anything. So, and that they kept playing the game. So of course they kept thinking, eventually you're going to surrender, as you were looking at them saying, well, eventually you're going to be normal. You're eventually going to show me what I need to see, because we have this connection. And this is what this person knew. That's why they were like, I don't really have to do anything, and I don't really want to have to make a decision right now. And so, like I said, their life isn't working out, is what I'm feeling, which is why all of a sudden there's this, let's focus on what you're doing. But we're going to go a little bit deeper and see, well, what do they really feel about the connection? We see all the fuckery, but just because we see the fuckery doesn't mean that they don't have feelings. That's the irony with people that have spiritual blocks. They get in their own way. They sabotage the connection because they're living a reality that doesn't exist. They're living a reality from past experiences and projecting a lot of that shit onto you, is what we see here. And you're like, all I know is I'm like minding my own business, trying to like create. And you're angry with me, and I feel like you're angry with me. And they are, because again, you contradicted what they thought. You're showing them a different version of themselves. You're shattering their self-image. They want to seem as the authority. They wanted to seem as desirable. They thought that you're my person. You're going to, of course, be there for me. So these fell out. Because of you, I'm starting to see what is important in my life. So it's, again, this person doesn't want to have feelings, though. And I feel like what they see as important is loyalty. It's that they didn't have any loyalty. Remember how this reading started? The reading started as if, again, they had the opportunity to be with you. They made the wrong choice. You had loyalty. This person disposed of that loyalty, and they went with somebody else. I always felt I had a higher calling in life, and our connection brings me more clarity onto it. Oh, so you see what's going on here. As I said, here it is. You're having a love affair with what you're doing in the gift of style. You're at a very high vibration. You're getting a lot of attention. This person, because they like everything that you are, but they didn't take the time to get to know. So here it is. It's like they see how they can fit into your life. Now, the problem with this is again, this person's on a very low vibration. There's a part of them that's like, well, I want the entire package. Because I like what it would look like for me. That's what I see. So I see like a narcissist, like there's a narcissist energy almost, where it's like this person is angry that you're doing this for you, but they wouldn't be angry if they could, like help be a part of that, if they were going to capitalize on part of that. So, and what they know is that you're not going to let them do it. They know that you're like, well, you weren't here. So they know the obvious. And this is not because you guys have talked about it. It's just intuitive. There is an ESP connection. There was a strong spiritual connection. There still is. It's just this person like damaged the connection by how they acted. And then they're reflecting it back, and they're like, well, like there's actually a lot in common that we do have. See, the problem is when this person had the opportunity to give you the time, to give you the attention, they didn't want to do it. They wanted to run around with different people. And I feel like they never really let go of any single person that they get involved with. They kind of just leave it there. And then they get involved with the wrong person. And then that person creates a lot of drama for them, which is why this person's in a bad mood right now. Because it's like, well, now I'm seeing that we really did have good canter and we had good chemistry. And so there's part of this person right now that's trying to like stir up the energy, I feel like, to be able to come back, to try and find the good points within the relationship that have happened, where it's like, and you're looking and you're like, that's not enough. See, you're not the same person, and you're not the same person because of this energy. Because when we're in the gift of style, we're giving ourselves love. We're meeting different people, different situations, experiences are happening that are changing our mind and our heart. So we're able to see things from a much different perspective, which now this person is in regret, because what they feel is the energy is moving further and further and further and further away. They did all this fuckery to actually bring you closer. Self-sabotaging behavior. As you surrender your 3D expectations, I can surrender our 5D connection. They're like, listen, relationships have never really worked out for me. It's like, and mainly because of their attitude, obviously. You can't be in a one-sided relationship. But to them, they're like, relationships, they start off so passionately, and then they just don't work out. So this person doesn't hold stock in it. And the reason why is because they focus too much on the emotional, too much on the physical connection, not enough on the emotional connection. And that's what you asked for this person. You weren't asking for money. You weren't asking for anything. What you were asking for was for them to give you the time. They didn't want to give you the time. So they didn't really know who you were. Yes, they knew that there was a spiritual connection. They saw that, like, again, that they were attracted and that you had all the elements, but they didn't emotionally form the connection, because when you're running around talking to a lot of people and you're too busy wanting the person to chase you, well, you're living in your imagination. You're living in like a reality that actually doesn't exist because they didn't know you, and that's what they're seeing. So they're like, yeah, like, but you're asking me to surrender to this spiritual connection. I don't understand that. Yeah, they don't understand spiritual connection because they are in the reptilian mind, which is a survival mind, which is all about the ego, because again, their past relationships don't work out. Well, they clearly don't work out because they don't give it the relationship time. So this is what they're noticing. Being mirrors for each other makes self-love so important. I wish I was there to love you. I want you to love and nurture yourself. So this person again still knows it's like that you are so pissed off at how they are, that you're disgusted, that you're pissed off, and that you're like, and that you're a little mad at yourself because you're like, I gave too much time to this connection. I gave you too many choices. And this person knows it, but they have to feel it. They have to really feel the consequences in order to change. Otherwise, they won't do it. I'm trying to leave my comfort zone with this issue. So, I mean, relationships are all about that, making us change. My issue with that is like, well, you're trying to do that, but your life is not working out. So you're trying to leave a situation because there are feelings. Our hearts are connected. Take a moment again so they know that, okay, well, now I know that you're my person now that I completely destroyed the connection. But what's going on in this person's life that all of a sudden they want to come back? It's like, you didn't give me the attention. Is it just a simple fact that you're putting in the energy now to yourself and you cut the energy off and you're getting a lot of attention from other people? That's part of it. It's also the fact that this person has to look at the reality that their self-image isn't what, that you don't see them that way. So that's a little bit of a bummer, especially since now that they are looking at you in such a high caliber. So there's a few things, but it's like, I want to know what's going on with that person that they chose over you. That's what I want to know. It's like, we know that they're not happy, but it's like, so, well, what's happening is like they met their match. They're with somebody that is actually extremely possessive, someone that's very materialistic, someone that came across as if they were going to be more stable. And I'm thinking financially. So what it was is that they chose someone that they perceived had more money and that you didn't have more money. And now what they're seeing is that you're going to have more money than everybody because you're in the gifted style, or they're perceiving that. So that's part of it. It's the stability. It's the materialistic. It's the fact that you're dependable. It's the fact that this person that they're connected to is possessive. So they're like, I'm not happy in this connection. And so now, that's what it is. It's like, it's for the money. It's for the money. And so now it's like, I'm not happy. Now I'm missing you. Of course you're missing me. It's again, and so what it is, it's like this person said, well, I didn't pay attention. I assumed. I didn't really look at the details of you. Like I took you for granted because you were always there. You didn't want anything from me. I'm used to people coming into my life and everyone tells a bunch of lies. I love you. You're the best thing since sliced bread. Like saying the words, which is all bullshit, then run around and roll around in the hay, have a love affair, and then never talk to the person again. That's what they're used to. You're a real person. They're like that. There was depth here. That's scary for this person. They were someone that was always in search for something, but what they didn't realize, that search is inside. When you're connected to your soulmate, like somebody that's really important to you, it's not that it's not okay to make mistakes. I mean, we do make mistakes. Unfortunately, this person was at a low vibe when you met them. And I do feel like that they're changing, but this person had put too much stock on the material gain. I feel like they came from a place that was always from a place of lack. So they put too much stock in, what things look like. And I feel like you're like down to earth. You're real. Like I said, your gift to style is something that's unique. You're not like everybody else. You don't, and that could be over everything, the way that you live your life. You could be someone that's very humble, where they're used to dating people that, are not humble, that are very showy and flashy. And they thought that that was success at one time. But what they're seeing is, no, what's important is the loyalty. What's important is that you're a real person. What you're important is, it's like it's made this person look at themselves, and they don't like it because they're attracted to someone that is actually showing them this is who you are. And they're like, I don't like this person at all. It's like, yeah, well, because they were operating from their lower energies, and that's why they attracted a lower, their lower self. Like we all have, again, a dust and a deity, and the deity is that God part of self, that this unconditional love that this person had for you. It's, again, they were like, I can't surrender to that part though, because I don't know, I don't have control over that part. But this part, which is the dust part, well, that's the ego. And, I can relate more to that. They don't like it now that they're being treated that way though. And that's the thing. So I feel like this person is like, does try to keep in contact with you, is trying to figure out a way to come back into your life. And they do so by like watching you on social media. They want to communicate to you. They know that they have to like give you some sort of truth. But the bottom line is that this person is not good, like being vulnerable. They're not good at showing their feelings, especially a person that was coming from such a low vibration, right? They were operating from this mentality of showy and here for a good time, not a long time. And it's all about you feeding me and making me feel good. And like, they're not the same person who they were. Again, their pride. But what's going to happen is, I feel like you're going to get some sort of recognition. You're going to get some praise for your achievements. I said, you're in the gift of style. Things are happening for you. And so that's going to trigger this shit out of this person's ego. Okay. They're going to come right out of isolation. And it's almost like you may think it's the wrong time, but I think it's actually divine time, because in spite that I feel like, hey, there's a lot of shit going on here, that this person was not right. They were at a low vibration. But I do feel like they're healing, because they're having to look at their actions. They're having to look at the difference between people. I feel like this person never really did that. They kind of looked at people as things that gave them stuff, fed them stuff. It was all about what the other person was going to do. They never really looked at their actions. This relationship is making this person look at their actions. They don't like it. That's why they're angry. That's why part of them, like if they were to approach you, I wouldn't give this person the red carpet treatment. I would have definitely strong boundaries, because they don't like the fact that you're showing them a different version of themselves. The ego doesn't just surrender. The ego, this is who this person's persona, the mask that they wore for so long. You rip that mask right off of them without saying a damn word. It's like, and they know that you know, and that is what makes them angry. And they also see how other people treat you. And so there's a sense of jealousy. There's a sense of, which is all normal parts of the ego. Remember, there's layers to the ego, where this person did never look before like, I'm jealous of anyone. No, everyone's jealous of me. Yeah, but what's happened is they hit onto hardships. And like I said, so here it is, you're at this high vibrational point in your life, and this person is like going through hardships. They're took 2 steps back. They know that they need to fix this relationship, which is why they're trying to stalk you out on social media and be like, or wherever else, if you live near, if you have mutual friends, however they can get any information, because they're very prideful, as we said here. They're very prideful. But there is a sense of them being like, I know I have to do something because a lot of time has gone by. So I'm going to pull from this deck, and I don't know why I'm just getting pulled. It's a little bit of a more positive deck. To truly honor the source of your being, live from the flow of your heart. So it's, again, this person has a closed heart. You lived in open heart. When you are manifesting and you're in the gift of style, you're giving and receiving of love, you're connecting to people that are emotionally fulfilling you. So this is how your mind is not focused on this person. This person has never experienced a person that's done that before. They only experience people that, create more drama, create like, oh, you did that to me, so I'm going to do that to you. Oh, you cheated on me. Well, then I'm going to run around and cheat on you. It's like, that's not what you did. So it's, again, you're again coming from your heart, which is actually making this person return to their heart. Their heart is closed. They don't want to have an open heart. They don't want to have an open heart, but you're making them. And that's really what Spirit says. All soul relationships are supposed to help restore us, bring us back to our natural state of unconditional love. Now, does that mean that the person agrees to it? We all have free will. So again, they don't go down without a fight. They don't go out with a fight because they created personas to keep them safe. Now they're like stuck in this situation where they're like, I'm dealing with you. I still have feelings for you, but I'm pissed off because it's like, who am I then? It makes them feel very uncomfortable, which is, again, why I feel like there's a part of them that's like, well, I could just go in and throw a monkey wrench in what you're doing, and then I don't have to look at what I'm doing. Now, is that conscious? Not really. They just know that they have to say something. And I just feel like there's so much going on in this person's life. They don't like where they are right now. And it's a combination between that their life isn't really working out. They're attached to someone that they don't really want to be with, that you're not saving them. You're not getting them out of their situation. You're busy in the gift of style. You're making things happen. You're getting a lot of attention. You're probably going to meet somebody else. Well, they played all these games, held back, thinking that you were going to be so devastated. You're not devastated. If anything, you're in a high vibration, getting more attention. So it's almost like, yeah, the divine is at hand. Because the divine says, well, this actually was a soul relationship, because soul relationships make us look at our behavior to evolve back into a place of unconditional love. And if it really wasn't for this person, you probably would have given more time to this person if they would have been nice and loving and kind, and not been in your high vibrational energy, which they pushed you into that, which is what Spirit wanted. When unsure how to proceed, simply take each next step as it's revealed. Like, again, this person is like, doesn't know what to do to fix this. So it's like they are cut off from their intuition, because only in the now do we get divine guidance, right? We don't know in advance what's going to happen. It's like we may have some ideas to what might happen, but really only in the now do we get divine guidance. And we have to be coming from our heart in order to do this. This person is so used to strategizing. Remember, they like to create the persona of who they think that they are. They need to learn to let go of that persona, because it's that persona that's keeping them locked into like a, keeping them locked into like this very low vibration of like how things need to be. It's like very outdated way of thinking. Your willingness to learn new things will climax. Oh, well, it won't climax. And she will eliminate the agony of resisting. So I feel like, there's a part of you that this isn't easy either, because there is love that you have for this person. You don't want to let go of this person. And maybe that's where I got the climax from, and that it's like eventually this person's going to break. And they're going to break because it's like, you're like, this isn't easy for me to do either. It's like, but in order for me to deal with fully cutting my energy off from you, my mind and my energy needs to be somewhere else, because this could take me down. And this person knows it, and they would rather it keep me down than them rise up. That's what they're kind of showing, because they're actually, why are you even thinking about it at this point? Why are you even strategizing about it? You're still in your ego. You're still holding back. Yeah, you're looking on my social media. You're like trying to find out about me, but are you really giving time and energy? No. This is what you're saying. You're like, you're still in your ego. Otherwise, you just come back and apologize and just be normal. But instead, you're still creating this weird persona. And with that, I'm still not getting anything, even though I can feel that you want to talk to me, even though I know that we have a connection, but you haven't given me anything to work with. So what you're saying is like, I'm just not going to fall into the agony of this. I'm going to put my energy more into learning new things about my gift of style, of creating. So again, it's pushing you more into manifesting. It's creating more for you that this person is actually holding back, because what you're saying is, no, I'm not going to give in to you. I refuse to give in to you. I'm not going to do it, because you don't have good intention, because you're still strategizing. Because if you were real, you would surrender your ego and you would just apologize. But instead you hold back and you play games, and you never even ask for forgiveness over the first things that you've done. You broke the relationship. And it's time that you fixed it, because I'm not going to fix it. That's what you're telling this person loud and clear without saying a damn word. And they know it. Time's a ticking. Time is a ticking. Be willing to stand alone. Those who are meant to stand with you will remain. And that's where you are. You're like, if you're meant to be in my life, you would be in my life. It's like, I don't need to chase you. I don't need to undervalue myself. This person is not used to dealing with a person like you. Let me tell you that. They are not used to it, because if they were, they wouldn't have played all these little games. They never looked at you for truly who you were. Now they're seeing who you are, and they're like, holy shit, why did I do this? Why did I do this? Because they know that you're pissed. They know that you're pissed. And you're like, yeah, I'm pissed, because it's like, even now, you're not coming in for you. Now you have the realization, and you're still not apologizing. It's like, never say go. And remember, the bigger they are, the harder they fall, Spirit says. It's like, this person has a big ego. It's like they created that self-image. They thought exactly, they know who you were, because they never had such an intense connection. And they've had other connections where they weren't even that intense, and people did twice as much for them. So they were like, you have this connection. I don't really have to do anything. I'll get back to you. It's almost like they put you on layaway. It's like, I'll come back for you. It's like, I'm going to put you over here. I don't want anyone to really know about you, though. It's like, and here you are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, drawing more and more and more attention to yourself in their mind. And it's like, all you might have said is, all I did was go out last night. Like, I didn't even do anything. But this person is, again, they've viewed you in their mind as someone that you weren't. And they liked that version, because that version made them feel safe. That version made them feel powerful. That version made them feel like, I can do anything. Where this version of you is saying, like, no, this is how you treated me. This is what you got. This is what I'm doing for myself. I'm not going to pour into you. I'm going to pour into myself. And you're going to watch me get other people's attentions, opportunities, and other things, because the agony of sitting here watching you and waiting for you to get off up your ass and to actually do something, well, it's like I can't do it because it keeps me in a low vibration. It doesn't bring me anything. So I might as well be stuck in this situation if I'm going to sit here and stare at you. So you know what? No, you're going to sit here and you're going to stare at me now. You're going to watch me. That's where you are, because I'm going to make you be accountable. I'm sick and tired of the fact that you want to sit there and pretend that you don't know what you do when you know exactly what you do. That's where you are. And so this person is like, I don't know how to fix this, because I figured by now, like, we would be laughing about this. We would be rolling around in the bedroom, like, oh, the passion that it would have created. You know, this person's like living some like lifetime special that it's, again, that you didn't sign up to be the leading actor or actress in that particular lifetime special, which is going on in this person's head, which is, I can create a lot of drama and it's going to turn into this thing that we're ripping each other's clothes off because there's so much passion, because that's what they focus on. And that's what they're used to connecting to, where you're like, who the fuck are you? What are you thinking? I have better things to do. So this person has mud on their face. Imagine how they thought that this was going to play out. No, we were in a soulmate twin flame relationship. There's all this passion and you love me. I knew that you were going to be here. It's like, I was going to make you crazy about me. It's like, and you're like, no. It's like, that's your crazy ass reality that you want to believe, because you create that. You created that with other people. That's not who I am. So no, you're a twin flame. Twin flame requires to step into the divine self, where you are doing that, which is why this person is like, you're getting a lot of attention. A lot of light is coming off of you. You're making things happen. Opportunities are happening. They feel you leaving them behind. It's like that twin flame is not that or passion like all the time. It's about stepping into the best version of yourself. It's about becoming yourself. And that's why this person is like seeing things completely different. It's almost like being on The Price is Right and they picked the Zonk box, you know. Here it is. They could have had the trip to Rome. They could have had the whole bedroom set, the diamond ring, the handbags, the new boat, the brand new car. But what they picked was the Zonk. And so they're pissed off, because they're like, you're going to have all that. You're going to have all that, which again, of course, feeds this person's ego. They thought that, you know, they were picking someone that had more money. Remember, that's what they thought. You know, I'm going to have all this, and where are you going to be? Oh, you'll be missing me for sure. And now it's like, well, they were a liar, and guess what? They attracted a liar, because that's what happens. Liars go with liars. So when you say, oh, that person didn't get any karma, that they're getting karma, because that person that they're with now does not have the life that they presume that they were going to have, and was not planning on giving all that either. That was fantasy time. That was daydream land. That was, again, lifetime special at 4:00. That's what it was. It wasn't what the reality was. And that's what this person's seeing. And they're like, I don't want to be in the fucking lifetime special. Well, guess what? You signed up. You're not living life. You had assumptions about who I am. I'm not that person because of my love. You took my love for granted. You crapped all over it. And you thought that I was somebody that I'm not. Somebody that is not worth dirt on anyone's shoe, for crying out loud. But that's what you're used to. So you're seeing this person a lot differently. And that's what this person sees too. They're like, it's almost like that's the worst of it for this person. Remember, it's the passion. It was the chemistry. This person damaged the actual connection. And they feel powerless about it, because it's like they did it to themselves. I got no way out. I got no way to fix it. No, you got no way to fix it, because you decided to take it all the way down to the fucking cart ranch, or whatever the fuck you decided to do, wherever. But you decided to take it too long, too far and, sitting there continuously trying to get a reaction out of me. So what I noticed is I would stop. This is you, Scorpio. I would stop and I'd look around and I'd see that you were still with your fuckery. So I put more energy into myself. I had to. For emotional reasons, because it was either that or you were going to take me down. So I actually stepped it up. So in you, again, stepping it up, it made this person powerless because their power was whatever you were going to give them. And you were supposed to be the lifetime special. You were supposed to be coming in at 4 o'clock and we were going to have this, this drama, love affair, excitement that is shit relationship, because it only winds up with pain, which is why this person doesn't have an open heart. So I feel like this person either watched that type of relationship growing up and they tried to redo it, or that's what they feel, or that but it's like was a reality that no one would want to be in for long periods of time. But the people that were connected to this person, they had no business, no mind. They didn't care to want that life. They're like, I'll do it because in the end, I don't have anything else going on anyway, you see. So since I have nothing else going on, I'll be in the lifetime special at 4 o'clock. And that's it again. So you get a lower quality person, where here it is for you. You were like, I don't know. I'm living my real life. I'm not going to be on no 4 o'clock lifetime special. I don't even like that part. Jesus. What kind of fucking part is that I get to play? Some person that has no self-respect, some person that doesn't love themselves, some person that doesn't have a life, some person that's making my life all about you. Well, the next step over that is that I'm going to go and kill the person that you're talking to. That is going to create a real triangle, like that. I'm going to go crazy. Well, that's what you want, because that's what makes you feel superior. Again, so you really shit on the relationship, and that's what this person is seeing, and that's why they're like, I look like an asshole. And you're like, yes, you do. Yes, you do. Can you fix it? If it's a real twin flame, it's like, yes, you can. But you would have to give your ass. You'd have to give everything. It's like, to me, like you would need to like really prove it. If you were going to fix it, it would take a long time, a really long time, where you'd be like, this person would be like frustrated, but they would know that they were deserving of it because they broke the trust. It's like you have to regain the trust. It was a long time of your fuckery. It was a long time of you holding back, thinking I was going to cave. It was a long time of you like trying to poke me and do things to get underneath my skin, to get me to react. It was a lot of that instead of actually pouring into the relationship. But I noticed that you gave this person, and I noticed that you gave that person. And even though it was a breadcrumb, it was still more than what you gave me. And when I say breadcrumb, it's that you might have seen your person take a person to dinner or out to lunch, or you heard about it, or you heard that they had, but it was more than they were willing to give you. They wanted you to beg for it. And so again, so the big question is if we had a connection, why would I have to beg? And those people didn't need to beg. And the reason why is because that person's emotionally cut off. Because that person knew, as being a twin flame, that you'd say, you got to come in here and you got to step into the best version of yourself. You got to come in here and actually give something of worth to me. And that made this person look at themselves and say, well, I don't really have it. See, I hide behind possessions that I don't really even have. I'm with this person that actually had it. That makes me look like I'm a lot stronger than I actually am. So I have to be in fantasy level 4 o'clock lifetime special, because I can't be in the real present moment. I can't be really who I am now. I got to be in fantasy land. And that's detachment, that's disassociation disorder, that's avoidant attachment style, where you're like, okay, so what the fuck do I keep winding up with that shit for, God? What is that? Because that's what God's saying. Ding, 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 ding. You want to know why would your relationship look like that? Why did I get that? And Spirit says, well, there's a reason why you got that. There's healing to be done. You are like on your gifted style. And I do help you heal, the universe says, by bringing you the people, the situations, the experiences that help you change your mind and your heart. However, there's a lot of like trauma from your childhood that you haven't looked at, that you haven't integrated, that you're like, I don't really know how to look at that. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. I just, you know, felt like it's wherever it goes, it just, we forget about it. And God says, no, you didn't forget about it, because it's a part of you. It's a shadow aspect of self. It's a part that you rejected, but you're me, God says, and all I am is unconditional love. All I am is the universe, and that's who you are, the universe. You have un like there's no boundaries to like what you can create. You're actually created them due to these uh spiritual blocks that were created in childhood, and you wouldn't have looked at those blocks unless I brought someone into your life that actually made you really like affect you. And this person affected you because they were really supposed to be a divine counterpart. That's why you're like, I knew that there was such a strong connection to it, and I don't know why I couldn't let go. And Spirit says you couldn't let go because until you learn this spiritual lesson, you won't be able to cut that karmic cord. It's the way that the universe says, no, I want you to look at something that needs to be looked at. And you're like, and you won't do it. So the illusion is, oh, it's that person, it's that passion, it's that love I have for that person. The Spirit says, no, it's that love that you have for yourself, that you have disconnected from, that is that shadow part of yourself that you rejected. And God says, and I won't have it, because I'm inside of you as the gift of the Holy Spirit. I am the deity part of self that makes you supernatural, that makes you be able to create your reality. But why are we creating this shit? What the fuck is going on here? I don't know if God says that, but I know that that's probably what he's thinking in a roundabout way, being like, why would we do this to ourselves? It's like, why would we choose to be connected to someone that is in fantasy land? They're in fantasy land. 4 o'clock, we got the lifetime special, and you're going to be in it. And then it's going to be all that drama because we know what's on that show. It's never Little House on the Prairie. It's never that. It's always somebody's getting shot, someone's getting killed, someone's getting the drama, someone loses a job, someone's kid gets killed. It's always some negative thing, which is why this person is like, oh, relationships just don't work out. Yeah, they don't work out if you're gonna like be like that. Come on. What do you think? So Spirit says, yeah, we want to know what the wounds were within inside of you. So we have to look at the inner child cards. Someone said, why you always start with the inner child cards? Didn't start with the inner child cards today now. I'm sensitive. I'm sensitive. Spirit says I'm too sensitive right now because I'm going through my grieving process. I ate the refrigerator last night. If it wasn't nailed down, I ate it. It's like I eat my emotions. That's what I learned. I said, Jesus, I'm gonna get fat. Next time you're gonna see me, I'm gonna be on. And that's not that there's a problem if you're heavy, but it's not healthy. It's not healthy. But you're going to be able to watch it like an Oompa Loompa. Like every time, next day, you'll see me on and I'm going to be fatter. That's the rate that I'm going. It's like, get grounded, Alice. Get grounded. It's hard to be grounded when we're in our emotions. And that's where this person is. They're in their emotions because they're like, I made such a mess out of this. I can't fix this. And they actually can. They'd actually have to humble themselves, because that's the irony of the twin flame relationship. It's like you'd be like, I don't want to like you. You're an asshole. It's like, but I do. It's like that's the issue. So what spirit is saying is that because there's unconditional love, the person would have to do a lot to fix it. And that's the thing. But understand, God says, that's what I need them to do. They're not going to do it on their own. They do it for unconditional love. They don't love themselves enough. So, yes, you're right about seeing that they're broken. You're absolutely right. But they're going to run and they're going to try and fix it. And even if they don't catch up to you, God says, hey, I know I gave you free will. You can do whatever the hell you want now. But it's like I needed that person to rise the same way I needed you to move, but you weren't moving. So pain makes us move. And that's really what it is. So this is why we always have to look at the inner child card, say, where did the wound come from? Why did this manifest? And it's, yes, we're born into family karma, ancestral karma, and a lot is related to what is going on during the in the world when you were born, and what was going on in the world when your parents were born, because it's your environment that creates your habits and your behaviorisms. And if they're in alignment with what was supportive back in the day for your emotional survival, your mental survival, well, again, you would adapt it to it. But unfortunately, we are supposed to evolve. We're not supposed to be asleep to living the same consciousness. As you grow, you have to walk the walk. And so it's almost like the transmutation process of healing is integrating these childhood wounds, because without doing it, you don't learn. And you stay angry at your parents and you stay angry at the people in your life, because there's a sense of, you made me feel inadequate. You made me feel, and we can say, well, I forgave them. But spirit says, not until you see yourself different. That is the law. You can say, no, my head, I've made the choice. And spirit says, yeah, 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 yeah. But you still see yourself inadequate. So you have to heal yourself in order to fully set yourself free. And that's why we go back to the inner childhood wounds, because again, those karmic themes continue to play out of, I don't trust. It's like, I'm a truth speaker. I'm an empath. This is you, Scorpio. Everybody knows that the Scorpio is that. It's, I'm emotional. I'm deep. I look at the dark. I look at the light. I don't have a problem with the dark. I have a problem when you try to get over on me. It's like, I'm strong within myself. I have very transformational power. It's, again, that's what the scorpionic energy is. It's transformation. So of course you would be drawn to me. I'm a truth speaker. This is you. It's like, you're strong in your own right. And I feel like you earned it, because there was a lot of people that didn't want to look at you in that way. They wanted to put their own perception, which again, spirit says, yeah, well, that's the whole point of the Scorpio, to transform it. Yeah, you can give me that shit, but I'm going to give you a flower basket back. I'm going to give you something better, something nicer, something whatever. I'm classy. I got a sting to me. I got a bite. I could be ghetto, but I'm classy because I'm truth speaker. This is you, Scorpio. It's like, and because of that, I'm full of joy. That's right. I am spirit. So there's a part of you that's just like this. Like, I take it as the days come, only in the now do I get divine guidance. Do I worry? I can worry. But really, no one makes me, gets underneath my skin like that person. But aside from that, I'm a pretty happy-go-lucky person. I don't set out to hurt people, and I don't like drama. And that's because you were always able to create yourself. See, we find our gifts in the shadows as well. And that's really what this person did for you when you think about it, because that pain pushed you into that time where you were like, well, when I was a kid and I wasn't supported, or I had to grow up in the imbalances of the household, and every family has imbalances. Everybody plays a role. Everybody does the best that they can do with the level of consciousness that they have, and so, and understand there is always love. It just doesn't look like love. A lot of times, it looks like hate. It looks like pain, and these are the first relationships. So I feel like you grew up in that. You grew up where there was just a lot of like turmoil in the house. And that could be, there was always the problem with my brother. There was always a problem with my sister. There was always a problem with my parents. There was always never enough money. There was always this strike. But I knew what I was going to do for me. I didn't really know logically, but I knew more from the heart. And that's again, there's a joy in that your heart was always open, and that it's again that the child that survives thrives, and it does so because it's through the imagination. And how do you create? You create by the thoughts that you think, the emotions that you have, Scorpio, into deep channeled emotion that goes through pain, where God says, oh, this is good energy, and you say, this isn't good energy, this isn't good energy, it's taking me down. And Spirit says, channel it. Channel it to purpose. Turn the fear into being fearless, pain into power. It's like, that's what scorpionic energy is. It's like you're transmuting ancestral karma when you stand up and you say, I am not going to put up with this shit. This is not a relationship. I don't know what this is. This is the bare minimum. And the bare minimum, I am worth so much more, and I'm going to prove it to fucking you. And that's by being in my joy and living my truth. The universe says, I gotcha. I gotcha. And the angels are cheering on the other side, and the ancestors are like, oh my God, thank God, we don't got to go back down there and do this shit again, because we just saw what this person did. So they're breaking the karma, because I never want to get into another one of these fucking relationships ever again. It's like, I love you and everything, but it's a love like hate, and it's like, it's not a healthy love. And so the roots of the ancestral karma need to be cleansed, which is what this story is really about. When we say, why do I keep attracting people like this that hurt me? Maybe that's all that's out there. And God says, don't let the world tell you who you are, because the world's going to tell you that. But you're supposed to tell the world who you are. You're supposed to tell the world what you want. So why are you letting the world tell you? Why are you investing more in that to get what you need when you're a Scorpio? That doesn't make sense at all. Scorpionic energy, lifetime special. Get the fuck out of here. It's time to transmute all of it. And again, it hurts, because there is love there, and there needs to be that grieving. That's a part. And we have problems with grief. We don't want to let it go. We don't want to let it go. We wear the pain as armor because of trauma, where God says again, that trauma will disassociate you every time, meaning that I know what happened, but I don't have any feeling about what happened, to be honest with you. I just don't even know. It's like, and God says, yeah, well, because you're numb, you're frozen. You're frozen because that trauma of, I don't know if I can be loved, where you are loved. God says you're loved. That's with the energy of the universe. You have the stars and the moon and the sun inside of you. You're connected to every single being on the planet, even the ones that you don't love. It's like, that's why it's so important to love. It's like, and to understand that you can transcend the limitations of your mind when you are in the gift of style. Because that is when you're co-creating. That is when you're finding yourself. That is when the universe conspires to bring you everything that you need. So you can block out the spiritual war that's happening outside. Because there's a war happening outside. There's a lot of people that's like, what the fuck is going on? And it's because they haven't done any healing. And so their life doesn't look good. And so they're coming from a place of lack, like there's not enough money, there's not enough time, there's not enough survival. And then you condition your nervous system to be in survival mode. And when that happens, you're living in from that level of consciousness, and you're not meaning to see, to look for the things that you don't want to see. Is that the trauma hasn't been healed. It hasn't, we haven't cleansed the roots. This is a spiritual issue. This is not a presidential issue. I mean, whatever side you take, we might say, well, yeah, well, whatever. Well, it's not one person's issue is what I'm getting at. It's a collective issue. So it's a collective thing that needs, where everyone needs to heal themselves. That one day heaven could be on earth, and that's through the character of man. But we have to rise to that energy, and that's by becoming unconditional love. We have to break the ancestral karma, the generational karma, the collective karma. I mean, it's only causing pain, when really the only energy is, if we're all in the energy of our unconditional love, you don't give a fuck what your person's doing next door to you. You don't care if they're wearing a tutu, running around like with, like with bananas hanging off their head, or and banging a drum, unless it's keeping you up at night. You don't care. You don't care because you're having a joyful life. It's like when you're in love. Why is it so things are so much easier when you're in love? Well, because you're in a higher vibration. It's just we tend to look for that within a person, where this story is that this person said, fuck you. You're giving me those breadcrumbs and you want to create this drama. I don't know what that life is, but I'm in this life because I already lived that life. I recognized that life from the way I grew up. Now I love those people that I grew up with. This is what this Scorpio was saying. However, I have a choice on how I choose to create my life now. And so you had to go through this experience to actually acknowledge. That's God saying, acknowledge. Acknowledge. It happened. It's like learn from it. It's like, and become better. It's like, and you'll have better. But it's again, it will require patience. It will require love of yourself, consistency, and to raise into the highest vibrations of yourself, which is all about perseverance, having courage of, I don't know what's going to happen, but walking it alone. That's what you said to this person, to the point that they never had that happen, that a person actually said, fuck you, and walked out of their life and had a better life. That you profoundly changed this person. And that's fire. It just wasn't the fire that they were thinking. They were thinking lifetime special, roll around in the bedroom. No, you gave them a different fire that changed them because of the fire that's inside you. And it needed to happen in order so you can attract that type of energy, is what Spirit's saying. You weren't the vibrational match because you didn't go through that experience, because you refused to look at those inner child wounds. So that's why this person came into your life. That's why they were considered a karmic. Was there love? Yes. Just the same way that there's love for your family, even if it's, I don't want to love them. I don't like them, but I love them. And God says, good enough. Good enough. It's like, just as long as you love them. It's like, focus every day a little bit more on the loving them so you can let that pain go. So you can integrate that pain into power, so you don't attract people that think it's okay to treat you anything than less than the kings and the queens of Scorpio that you are. I resonate more with the Scorpio, but I'm a Virgo. Can you get over that? That I'm a Virgo? It's like, I'm not a Virgo at all. I'm a I have a problem because I resonate more with the Scorpio because again, transmutation power. It's like there's a strength. Scorpionic energy is not nice energy all the time. So which means you're not phony. And people are like that realness cuts right through. Cuts right through. So never dumb me down, especially if you want to attract a person that's going to nurture you and love you and have as much passion that you do for just your life, you, when you're alone, how you're treating yourself, pouring into yourself. Keep on doing it. And trust me, the universe will conspire to bring you everything that you need. Thank you guys for joining me today. I didn't really get a chance to read most of your comments. I get into that psychic realm, and so we're not as grounded. Um, but I want to thank you guys. I want to thank you guys for sharing your energy with me, and always leave your comments and everything else in the description box if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.